Hello students, I am Pooja Sharma, lecturer in English at Government Senior Secondary Smart School, Namashahar. Today I am going to present a lecture on listening, which is a part of IELTS. Now let's know what IELTS means. IELTS refers to Interactive English Language Training for Students. And my topic for today is listening skill. Students, when we think of English skills, the four skills of listening, speaking, reading and writing readily comes to our mind, and listening comes first. Today we are talking about the first skill, and that's listening. Listening helps you to improve your understanding of the language and your pronunciation. Okay, let me ask you one question. Why do we have two ears but one mouth? I repeat, why do we have two ears and one mouth? Okay, I'll give you answer. We have two ears and one mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. But what do? We talk more and listen less. Let's understand the difference between hearing and listening. While hearing and listening may seem like they serve the same purpose, the difference between the two is very significant. Hearing is a process or a function of perceiving sound, while listening is to pay attention to sound. First difference is hearing is mechanical, which means humans mostly hear sound that travels through the ear, while listening is focused. As when we listen, our attention remains what the speaker is saying. Second difference is hearing is involuntary, which means it is done without conscious effort, while listening is voluntary, as it is done with conscious effort. Third difference is hearing is effortless and listening is intentional. Now let's understand it with the help of a picture. It is a scene of a fair where you hear many sounds unintentionally, or you may say without any effort. While in this picture, you may watch that someone is attracting your attention by saying, "Your attention please." Now you will listen to him carefully. So there are four steps of listening. First of all, we listen. Second is filtering. That means we filter the said information. Third is comprehending. Comprehending means to understand something completely. And the last one is responding, which means to say as an answer to the listened thing. Now let's know what are the barriers to listening. There are two types of barriers. First one is physical barriers and second is psychological barriers. First of all, let me tell you about physical barriers. There are 5 types of physical barriers, and they are: first is noise, second is poor acoustics, third is defective mechanical devices, fourth is frequent interruptions, and fifth is message overload. And what are the psychological barriers? These are: first is state of health. Second is wandering attention. Third is personal problems. And fourth is attitude. Now here are some important tips which you shall keep in mind while listening to anything. First is listen to or read the instructions carefully. Second is use a pencil to write down the answers, as you may need to change the answer or correct the spellings. Third is go through the questions quickly in the given time and underline the key words. Fourth is listen for the specific information such as name, place, date, etc. And next is multitasking. That means you will be doing reading, listening and writing at the same time. Next tip is concentrate so that you don't miss out any important information. Next is be careful with grammar and spellings. Next is if you miss out an answer, move quickly to keep pace with the speaker. And the last one is attempt all the questions and there is no negative marking. Now we are going to do one test, and here you will be given some time to read the questions. So read the instructions carefully. Fill in the gaps with no more than 2 words or numbers. Students, I am going to read out the blanks, which are: number 1, the moon is the Earth's only dash satellite. Second is, the moon is dash in diameter. Third is, the moon dash the Earth once a month. Fourth is, the craters on the moon's surface are caused by dash. Fifth is, the moon is about dash years old. And next blanks are: the Earth and the moon have a common center of dash in space. Next is, the average daily delay in moonrise and moonset is about dash minutes. Eighth one is, the moon has no dash. Next is, a very light dash falls on moon. And the last blank is, the temperature of lunar rocks drops down to less than dash. Now an audio will be played. You will have to answer the questions while listening to the audio. So listen to the audio carefully. Here the audio is. Today we know all the important facts about the moon. It is the Earth's only natural satellite. Compared to satellites of other planets, it is very large in relation to its parent planet. It is a quarter of the Earth's diameter, measuring 3,476 kilometers. It orbits the Earth once a month, keeping the same face turned towards Earth as it does so. Its surface is pitted with craters caused by meteorites. The moon is the same age as the Earth, about 4,600 million years. The moon is not a self-luminous body. the Earth and the Moon travel around a common center of gravity in space. As the Moon orbits the Earth, different amount of its sunlit surface are visible from the Earth. This produces the cycle known as phases of the Moon. We can see the full moon and no moon once in a month, and for the rest of the days it appears in its phases. The average daily delay in moonrise and moonset is about 50 minutes. The moon is lacking water and it has no atmosphere. A very light rain of cosmic dust continually falls here. In the glare of the sun, lunar rocks reach a temperature of 110 degrees Celsius, more than the boiling point of water. But in shadows, the temperature goes down to less than -100 degrees Celsius. Now let's read all the blanks that were given in our exercise. And the blanks are: number 1, the moon is the Earth's only dash satellite. Second is, the moon is dash in diameter. Third is, the moon dash the Earth once a month. Fourth is, the craters on the moon's surface are caused by dash. Fifth is, the moon is about dash years old. Sixth is, the Earth and the moon have a common center of dash in space. Next is, the average daily delay in moonrise and moonset is about dash minutes. Eighth is, the moon has no dash. Ninth is, a very light dash falls on moon. And the last sentence was, the temperature of lunar rocks drops down to less than dash. Now here comes the answers. First sentence was, the moon is the Earth's only natural satellite. Here natural is the answer. In second sentence, the moon is 3,476 kilometers in diameter. In third sentence, the moon orbits the Earth once a month. And in fourth sentence, the craters on the moon's surface are caused by meteorites. In fifth sentence, the answer was 4,600 million, and the sentence is, the moon is about 4,600 million years old. Sixth sentence was, the Earth and the moon have a common center of gravity in space. Next is, the average daily delay in moonrise and moonset is about 50 minutes. Next is, the moon has no water. Next is, a very light cosmic dust falls on moon. And the last sentence is, the temperature of lunar rocks drops down to less than -100 degrees Celsius. Now we move to test number 2, and that is to choose the correct letter A, B or C for each answer. In test 2, we are going to do some multiple choice questions, and here these are. First question is, the slogan given by Satguru Ram Singh Ji was A. Divide and rule, B. Unite and fight, C. Live and let live. Second question is, the non-cooperation movement was aimed to A. Boycott the British, B. Protest nationwide, C. Encourage nationalists. Next question is, the Punjabi word kuka stands for A. A road, B. A roar, C. A howl. And fourth question is, kukas were the followers who? A option is followed the non-cooperation movement, B. Raised a loud voice against the British, C. Were sent to the gallows. Fifth question is, how many Namdhari Sikhs were sent to the gallows in 1871? Options are A. 90, B. 19 and C. 9. Sixth question is, in 1872, 65 Namdhari Sikhs were cannon fired at. Options are A. Malerkotla, B. Kotkapura, C. Sangrur. Now an audio will be played. You will have to answer the questions while listening to the audio. Dear students, listen to the audio carefully. Against the British policy of divide and rule, he gave the slogan of Unite and fight to the people of India. He started a movement of non-cooperation against the British rulers and called upon the people to boycott the British. It was he who introduced the concept of Be Indian, Buy Indian in the country. The British rulers came down heavily on his roaring followers. The Punjabi word kuka stands for a roar. Shri Satguru Ram Singh's followers, who raised a loud voice against the British, came to be popularly known as kukas. The followers of this movement were named Namdharis. The Namdhari Sikhs soon became a brave force to be reckoned with. The British rulers could not tolerate the rise of such an inspired patriotic force against them. They let loose a reign of terror against the kukas. 9 Namdhari Sikhs were sent to gallows in 1871, while another 65 were blown up by cannon fire in an open field in 1872 at Malerkotla, Punjab. Now, the questions were, the slogan given by Satguru Ram Singh Ji was A. Divide and rule, B. Unite and fight, C. Live and let live. Second question was, the non-cooperation movement was aimed to A. Boycott the British, B. Protest nationwide, and C. Encourage nationalists. Third is, the Punjabi word kuka stands for A. A road, B. A roar, C. A howl. Fourth question is, kukas were the followers who A. Followed the non-cooperation movement, B. Raised a loud voice against the British, C. Were sent to the gallows. Fifth question is, how many Namdhari Sikhs were sent to the gallows in 1871? Options are A. 90, B. 19 and C. 9. And sixth question is, in 1872, 65 Namdhari Sikhs were cannon fired at A. Malerkotla, B. Kotkapura and C. Sangrur. I hope you must have done all the answers by now. Let's look at the answers. First answer is, the slogan given by Satguru Ram Singh Ji was, option is B, unite and fight. Second is, the non-cooperation movement was aimed to, and the option is A, that is, boycott the British. Third answer is, the Punjabi word kuka stands for, yes, it's B, a road. Fourth answer is, kukas were the followers who, answer is option B, and that is, raised a loud voice against the British. Fifth answer is, how many Namdhari Sikhs were sent to the gallows in 1871? Right answer is option C, 9. And the last question is, in 1872, 65 Namdhari Sikhs were cannon fired at. Answer is option A, Malerkotla. Very good. Now we move to our test 2, that is section 2. And here we have to choose the correct letter A, B or C for each answer. And the seventh question is, the youngest martyr Bishan Singh was, options are A, 10-year-old, B, 12 years old, C, 11-year-old. Question number 8 is, which British officer beheaded Bishan Singh? Options are A, Mr. Cowan, B, Mr. Saunders, C, Mr. Curzon. Next question is, 9th, the liberty lovers refused to bend down. Options are A, to the British troops, B, to the imperial masters and C, to the British repression. And the last question is, Satguru Ram Singh was sent to jail in A, an unknown forensic lab, B, an unknown foreign land, C, an unknown fortified place. Now an audio will be played and you will have to answer the questions while listening to the audio. So listen to the audio very carefully. Students, here the audio is, amongst these martyrs was a 12-year-old boy named Bishan Singh. He was offered pardon on the condition that he should deny his allegiance to the Kuka cause. He angrily pounced upon the British officer Mr. Cowan, Deputy Commissioner Ludhiana, and pulled at his beard. The enraged officer got both his hands severed and then beheaded him. The lovers of liberty refused to be cowed down by this repression but continued to fight with greater enthusiasm. Shri Satguru Ram Singh Ji was arrested and exiled to Burma and unknown foreign land. His spirit continues to guide his followers even today. Now let's read the questions again. Seventh question was, the youngest martyr Bishan Singh was, options were A. 10-year-old, B. 12-year-old, and C. 7-year-old. Eighth question was, which British officer beheaded Bishan Singh? Options are A. Mr. Cowan, B. Mr. Saunders, and C. Mr. Curzon. Ninth question was, the liberty lovers refused to bend down. Options were A. to the British troops, B. to the imperial masters, and C. to the British repression. And the last question was, Satgur Ram Singh was sent to jail in A. an unknown forensic lab, B. an unknown foreign land, and C. an unknown fortified place. Now let's move to the answers. Seventh answer is, the youngest martyr Bishan Singh was, option B, 12 years old. And in eighth question, which British officer beheaded Bishan Singh? Answer is option A, Mr. Cowan. Ninth question, the liberty lovers refused to bend down, and the answer is C, to the British repression. And in last question, Satgur Ram Singh was sent to jail in, answer is option B, and that is an unknown foreign land. Dear students, before I conclude, I want to ask you certain questions. My first question is, which are the 4 skills of language learning that are mentioned in this topic? And the answer is listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And what is the difference between hearing and listening? Answer is, hearing is a process or power of perceiving sound, and listening is to pay attention to sound. Now we conclude the topic. No communication process is complete without listening. Good achievers spend more time in listening. A good listener understands the value of words and emotions. Misunderstanding and misinterpretations are ruled out. Active listening skills can be learnt and developed. Students, this content was prepared by Harcharan Singh, lecturer in English, Government Senior Secondary School, Sahiba, SBS Nagar, and Iqbal Kaur, English Mistress, Government Senior Secondary School, Dayalpur, Sodhia, SAS Nagar. And PPT was prepared by Satish Kamal, Computer Faculty, SLNRS, Government Senior Secondary Smart School, Teor, SAS Nagar. And voice was given by Pooja Sharma, lecturer in English, Government Senior Secondary Smart School, Nama Shahar, SBS Nagar. Hope you have understood the topic of skill of listening. Now you must be preparing it by doing more exercises of listening. Thank you. Have a nice day.